What is going on, Raider Nation? Raider Primo back again with another quick live show. Not going to be on for too long, probably for like 30 minutes. Got some things I got to take care of. And sorry for being out, you guys, for the past 2 weeks. I believe we missed some recap shows of the Eagles game and the Houston Texans game. Um, I've been working a lot. This holiday work schedule has kind of made my schedule very, very wonky when it comes to planning these live shows and getting on here. And it's been messing up my sleep schedule even more so. But we're starting to wrap up the holiday work schedule. So my time is starting to free up once again. And I'm excited because we are going right into the offseason. We got one more game, and we will talk about that game coming up against the Chiefs. But we are going to be recapping the game yesterday, the Giants versus the Raiders. People want to call it the Tang Bowl, the Toilet Bowl, whatever you want to call it. It was a disgusting game from our Raiders. And we're going to talk about what lies in the Raiders' future. And a lot of fans have their opinions of how this offseason is going to play out. What should the Raiders do with the first overall pick if they lock it up? Because we have not locked the first overall pick, you guys. We have it as of right now, but depending on Sunday's game against the Chiefs, and if the Raiders mess this up by winning, we may not have the first overall pick. So it all depends on what happens Sunday. And we're going to dive right into it. So you guys get this link out to as many Raider fans as yourself, mainly because I want to hear from the nation. This show is going to be for you guys. I want to hear your voices. We're going to debate with each other. We're going to agree to disagree. But I want to what it is going to be the segment of the day. What lies in the Raiders' future? And I want to hear from every single person in the nation. So on the way in, if you have not already, hit that like button. And if this is your first time checking out Raider Primos, please think about hitting that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, showing support to this channel. And also hit that bell so you are not missing anything from Raiders Primos. But let's get into it, you guys. The Giants and the Raiders. Again, you want to call it the Tang Bowl, the Toilet Bowl, whatever you want to call it. Was a disgusting game. From our Raiders, we're going to pull up the box score here in just a minute. Let me pull it up. This is coming from NFL Pro, you guys. Let me share my screen. As you guys see there, 34-10. The New York Giants beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And due to this loss, you guys, the Las Vegas Raiders have moved into the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, with the Giants moving back to the number 2 spot. Jackson Dart, we'll start off with the Giants here. Jackson Dart, very efficient in the air, 22 for 30, 73.3 completion percentage. Did not have a touchdown, but he did not turn over the football. He did have 207 yards passing. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 14 carries, 62 yards. But Dart, where he really killed us, you guys, was utilizing his legs. He had 9 carries, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary also had a touchdown on 8 carries, 45 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson was Dart's go-to guy, and why wouldn't he be throwing it his way? Wan'Dale seemed like he was getting open a ton in yesterday's game. 11 catches, 14 targets, 113 yards. Darius Slayton, 2 catches, 36 yards. It was funny because I seen him get a catch, and I'm like, man, Darius Slayton is still in the league. I didn't even know he was still playing with the Giants. If we flip over to the Raiders side of things, you guys, Geno Smith, he did get injured later in the game, but he was also efficient, did have 2 interceptions. I mean, I don't think that's a no shocker there, but he was 20 for 28, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Did have a completion percentage, 71.4. So he was efficient in that department, but he still had 2 interceptions. Kenny Pickett did have to come in for an injured Geno Smith. He was 2 for 2, 16 yards. Ashton Genty tried to get the running game going. Really wasn't. It was the same old story. The offensive line could not really block. Didn't really open up any holes for Ashton Genty to get going. 16 carries, 60 yards, no touchdowns, 3.8 yards per clip. He did have a long of 24 yards, you guys. So he did show some flashes in yesterday's game. Michael Mayer had a breakout game, and this is why they need to have him and Brock on the same field next season. I don't know why they don't do it a whole lot, trying to get them both involved in the game. Michael Mayer, 10 targets, 9 catches, 89 yards. Had a really good game. Trey Tucker, 6 targets, 5 catches, 49 yards. Shadrack Jackson was in. Nice to see the young guy get some reps. 2 catches, 20 yards, 3 targets. Ashton Genty coming out of the backfield also to tack on with the 16 carries. He had 2 catches for 13 yards. Dante had 2 catches for 12. Tyler Lockett had 2 for 9 and a touchdown. The offense, again, was subpar, only scoring 10 points. The special teams giving up a long kickoff return for a touchdown after the Raiders, they scored a touchdown, and it was a struggle to score that touchdown, it seemed like, during that drive, just for the Giants to come out in the following kickoff or in the ensuing kickoff to return it back for a touchdown. And that's really where I believe it swung. The momentum swung for the Giants, and this game was over at that point, which happened, I believe, in the third. Did it happen in the third or the when did it happen in the third, right? Let me see. Yeah, it happened in the third. It happened in the third. But yeah, you guys, let me stop sharing. Let me get that out. We got CGR in the building, one of the mods in here. We got also Van City in the building. Bring back John Gruden. Let him draft Diego Pavia at 1. Just fix the Raiders. And you know what's funny, Van City? I know a lot of people don't want to go quarterback, and if they do talk about quarterback, they talk about Diego Pavia. There's another quarterback that people were talking about that he has just he has flown off of my draft board just because of his little attitude he had when it came to the Heisman. Who was it? Let me see. Let me see. Let me go to positions. Let me go quarterbacks here. Who was it? It was damn, he went hella bad. Oh yeah, Diego Pavia. Yeah, it was Diego Pavia, and he came off of my draft board. I was looking at him possibly as a mid-round quarterback if the Raiders wanted to look at him, but humble yourself, kid. Humble yourself. We got AP Scorpio, another one of the mods. Raiders! Salute. Primo. Raiders is setting up to get their quarterback in the draft this year. Well, I'm hoping. And there's a lot of moving parts. It's not guaranteed. I believe they need to go quarterback. I believe they are planning to go quarterback, but Pete Carroll is still here. And I said it. Will brought up, shout out to Raider Will, that he was joining us. Well, actually, I joined them, him and Jay, on their show, on the recap show of the Giants and Raiders. And Raider Will pointed something out, that Pete Carroll is still here until the time being. Until it is official that Pete Carroll is here, you guys. I think it is great that you have to go into the offseason and think, what would Pete Carroll do? In case the Raiders Raider it up, you guys, and the Raiders keep Pete Carroll for whatever reason. I don't see them keeping Pete, but this is the Raiders we are talking about, you guys. I don't see Pete staying here. What the Raiders need to do is they need to clean house. They need to clean house from top to bottom, from Pete Carroll to Brandon Carroll to even Rob Leonard, you guys. And I know a lot of people like Rob Leonard, but you got to get him out of there. Patrick Graham, get him out. Everybody, start fresh. Embrace the rebuild. What matters the most, besides the draft, besides the offseason, What matters the most, you guys, is who is the Raiders bringing in for their new head coach? Who is the Raiders bringing in for their offensive play caller, for their defensive play caller? That is what's going to matter the most. Because if you bring in a regime in here that cannot develop any of these guys, from Jack Bech to Ashton Jeanty to whatever quarterback we pick in the draft, if they cannot develop any of these young players, we struck out again at the head coaching position. Now, there is some names out there that, we have thrown, that I've thrown out there, that the nation has thrown out there. Chris Shula is one of the names. Clint Kubiak, another name. Mike LaFleur, another name. A lot of people love to go to the Kubiaks and the LaFleur due to the offensive mind that they possess to bring to the Raiders, because our offense has very, very been lackluster for the better of the past 3-4 years. It has been lackluster. It is going to be a very, very important decision come Black Monday. If they keep Pete, if they do let go of Pete, you guys, I believe the most important decision, besides what they do with the number overall pick, the biggest decision that they're going to make this year is who are they bringing in the regime. Spytek, this is all on you, my brother. I want Spytek to make the decision, because Spytek and the head coach, you guys, they need to be on the same wavelength. They need to be eye to eye. They can't be hey, I want to win now, where Spytek's like, no, I want to build for the future. It can't be none of that. They have to be on the same, they got to be on the same wavelength, singing the same songs to each other. You want this guy? Well, I want that guy too. Let's go get him. Simple as that. Let me acknowledge more of the chat, you guys. We got XL Raider in here. Pete Carroll is thinking of trading Raider Primos to the Titans for another podcaster. Hey, if Pete Carroll does that, hey, I guess I'm gonna have to start following the Titans and see what they're doing. But at least they're trying to build something out there, right? They're trying to build something out there. Patrick Graham says, "Talk smack now that I'm in the room, fool." Hey, Patrick Graham always coming in, wanting to start something, but always want to keep the middle of the field wide open. So Patrick Graham, instead of commenting, try to focus on covering the middle of the field more. Leak Eye, biggest disappointment of Pete Carroll this season is playing the players that's not supposed to be out there. Meanwhile, you inactive rookies all season and playing the players out of position, etc. Leak Eye, I am glad you pointed that out, because I want to talk about this offensive line. Let's start there, you guys. Let's say, we know Pete's not going to be here. One of the offseason adjustments that I've said, you need to go and attack this offensive line. You need to build it up. But I believe that this offensive line is not as bad as people make it out to be. And I say this due to this. You cannot tell me, Pete Carroll, that this offensive line has regressed tremendously, and it is not your son's fault. You cannot tell me that DJ Glaze has regressed from last season, being one of the most better, well, I want to say better, but he played very well for being a rookie tackle. He was one of the better rookie tackles last season. I'm not saying and you're telling me he regressed. You're telling me Meredith regressed from being, I'm not saying they played great. And that's the thing, you guys. I don't want you guys to take this and say, oh, I'm calling the 2024 offensive line that they were great. They were playing very well. No, they were serviceable. And somehow they regressed. Somehow this offensive line got worse under Pete Carroll, an experienced head coach. And somehow this offensive line looked better under Antonio Pierce, who's an inexperienced head coach. Now, yes, he had Joe Philbin calling the offensive line, being the offensive line coach. And now we switch from Joe Philbin to Brandon Carroll. But again, that should show you Brandon Carroll is the problem, but Pete is not going to fire his son. We knew that. And we still know that to this day. He's not going to fire his son. But I say that because, like I alluded to earlier, I believe that this offensive line is not as bad as most people make it out to be. Has it been terrible this season? Yes. But I put more blame to coaching than I do to the players. Because Meredith should not have been starting at center. Kappa should not be starting at center. JPJ is your center. You have a center already on the roster, already in the building, and yet they made it seem like we did not have a center. Meredith is a better guard than center. JPJ, is he great at guard? Yes. But is he better at center? Yes. He is better at center. All the shuffling that they did on the offensive line, like you pointed out, Leaky, playing players out of position. The shuffling that they did on the offensive line, and Leaky, you've been here since day one. I said it in training camp. We all the nation was confused. Like, why are they doing this switch? Why is JPJ in competition with Alex Kappa for a guard position? Why is he not starting at center? Why is Meredith at center? Why is Meredith getting first team reps at center position? It was confusing during training camp. But again, I brushed it off because I'm like, maybe they want to experiment with the best five that they have out there in training camp. But I also said the minute that shit doesn't work, you need to shuffle it right back. Put JPJ at center, Meredith at guard. Simple fix. And yet Carroll was willing to die on that hill of staying with Meredith at center and staying with the narrative that JPJ is in competition with Alex Kappa, that he is fighting for a guard spot. To 4. My God. Look, we can continuously keep kicking this dead horse. But I'm not. I'm just looking forward to having a new young coaching staff, a better free agent signings, and a better draft. 2-4, you are not wrong, my brother. You are not wrong. And that's why this is going to be a quick live. This is going to be probably going to be on for 10 more minutes because honestly, 2-4, I got nothing else to say. I said it all in yesterday's live. It is on my channel. If I was seeing that someone was telling me that they're having issues pulling up the video. If you're having issues, go over to my brother Jay Raider at Just Raiders, baby. He has it uploaded on his channel. I basically aired out what I wanted to say after yesterday. But I do want to address 2-4. I want to address the nation because there's two things that is pissing me off with Raider Nation. Let's start with actually three things. Let's start with the first thing. The first thing is that the Raiders are tanking. The Raiders tanked the game yesterday. I'm pissed that there's Raider fans out there that are wanting the Raiders to lose ball games, and I'm pissed that the Raiders are actually willing to lose ball games by sitting Max, sitting Brock, like they're tanking. Let me just say this, you guys, and send this to any Raider fan that is saying that the Raiders are tanking. You do not tank when you're 2-14. You just suck. I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know what Raider fan needs to hear this, but this is for every Raider fan that believes that the Raiders were tanking yesterday. The Raiders are not tanking. The Raiders just fucking suck. You're not tanking at 2-14. You're not. Our last win was against the Tennessee Titans in week fucking 5. You're telling me we've been tanking since week 6? Since week 6, we've been tanking. No, this team just fucking sucks. It sucks. And I don't know if you finally got the reality check that this team just sucks, or you need some way of saying or of coping to say that this team is tanking. to avoid that this team just sucks. This team sucks. And we just got our teeth kicked in by one of the worst teams in the league. That team out there, you guys, didn't quit. They were playing at maximum effort. You had a lot of guys that are one-year deals that are playing for a new deal, if not with the Raiders, with some other team. You have second and third stringers out there, you guys, that are playing for their livelihoods, that are trying to put the best on tape for themselves. We as a team, though, fucking suck. You're not tanking at 2-14. So the tank talk, y'all can shut that shit down, because the Raiders just suck. That's all it is. You're not tanking at 2-14, you guys. You're not. And on to the second thing. The Max Crosby trade rumors. I was told personally, Max Crosby saying he wants to leave. No, he doesn't. You guys, y'all got to stop feeding into that fake narrative. Stop feeding into these fake news. We're really gonna do this shit again. We're really gonna do this shit again. New offseason, same story. Max Crosby wants out. Max Crosby wants to leave. Max Crosby's pissed. Hell yeah, he's pissed. Not only was he told that he is shut down for the rest of the season, it's been a shit show of a season. Why would he be happy? Come on, you guys. But it's not enough. It's not enough to, I want to be traded. I don't want to be here. How many times does Max Crosby have to tell us, I want to be a Raider. I want to stay in Las Vegas. Nation, do you want Max Crosby to be a Raider? Do you want Max Crosby to stay a Raider? Yes, I want him to win. I want him to get his ring. But until the day that Max Crosby says, get me the F out, get him out. Get him out. Get Max Crosby out. But only and only if Max says, I want out. But up until this point, you guys, Max has been loyal. He has said, I want to be a Raider. He has told numerous media outlets, I want to be a Raider. I'm not going anywhere. He went to Mark Davis's fucking self. I don't want to go nowhere. Like, what are we doing here? Nation, do you want to kick Max Crosby out of Las Vegas? Because you guys think Max don't see this shit. Max sees Raider fans want me out of Las Vegas. Even though I've been saying that I want to be here, but there's some fans out there that think I don't want to be here. They want to trade me for some picks. Like, what are we doing here, y'all? Demokes, we've been watching this team suck balls for 20 plus years. I was 12 years old the last time the Raiders went and got a quarterback in the first. I'm going to be 30 in like 2 months. If we have to lose 2 games on purpose, so be it. What's crazy, Demokes, they don't got to lose on purpose. They suck. They suck. They don't got to lose on purpose. They fucking suck. 2-4 Primos, I'm going to keep it a buck. Most of the nation is from my era, is 40 years old and above. Oh, and that's facts, bro. Most Raider fans I talk to, you know, they're like my dad's age, which my dad's up there in his mid 40s. And we know what time it is. Some of these youngers don't understand. Opinions are not facts. You know what's crazy, 2-4? I'm 27 years old. And it's crazy how they don't see it. Some fans don't see that. They don't see the bigger picture. They don't see the bigger picture. It's like, yes, let's go win some meaningless games. For what? So we can miss out on a quarterback again? I had numerous people come into my chat. Oh, you were crying about Carly. Trust me, if I was the GM, I'm not playing the fuck around. The minute I make the decision, Derek Carr's not being here, drafting my quarterback. Shit, even when DC was here, I would have been drafted the quarterback. Because why? The writing was on the wall that his time was coming to an end. The writing was on the wall that Carr's time was coming to an end. But these GMs, these head coaches, I don't know why they don't get through their fucking mind, address the quarterback the right way. Stop with the Jimmy G's. Stop with the Aiden O'Connells. Stop with the Cam Millers. Trying to hope we find a diamond in the rough. Oh, Geno Smith, he's going to be the savior. Jimmy G is going to be the savior. Gardner Minshew, he's going to be the savior. And also, Nation, that Raider PTSD, bro, y'all got to tuck that shit deep. Jamarcus Russell is not coming out in the NFL draft. That happened, 20 years ago? 18 years ago? 18, 19 years ago? Shut that shit down. And I know I know the Raiders don't have a great history of drafting in the first round. But shit, we got Brock Bowers. We got Ashton Jeanty showing promise. Yeah, we whiffed on Tyree Wilson. Yeah, we whiffed on Alex Leatherwood, Damon Arnett, Jonathan Abram, Henry Ruggs. Even though I think Henry Ruggs, if he didn't make that stupid mistake, he probably could have been something. Hey, Josh Jacobs was a hit. The thing is, you guys, the Raiders put themselves in this position. The Raiders put themselves in this position where they cannot miss on a quarterback. They cannot leave this draft without addressing the quarterback position in the first round. People want to trade back. I hear you guys. And if they do trade back, will I agree with it? No. If they do it, I support it. Why? Because I'm a Raider fan. At the end of the day, that front office, whatever moves they make in this offseason, they believe that is what's best for the team. Do I agree with it? I don't agree with trading back. Because as a fan, I'm at a point in time where I'm tired of watching guys like Bo Nix, watching guys like Justin Herbert, Drake May, giving their teams chances to fight for playoff spots, clinch playoff spots, clinch first seed spots. Brock Purdy, like these young quarterbacks. I'm tired of watching these young quarterbacks giving their teams chances to fight for playoff spots. Meanwhile, the Raiders look like they don't know what the hell to do at the quarterback position. Go get your guy. Go get a young guy at the quarterback position. It's been too long. For a elite guy. And the thing is, when the nation starts entertaining that, at some point, Max may want out. And I agree. There's only so much he can take. And that's why they got to fix some shit now. And if they don't fix it now, then you do got to entertain the fact to trade Max. And I say that because you got to give Max a chance. For me, I want to see Max win. I want to see Max get his ring. But just like Demote said, until Max says he wants out, you're not going to hear a peep out of me that, hey, let's trade Max. Let's look at Max. Let's look at Max. Let's trade Max. Until he says He wants to leave. You're not hearing a peep out of me of let's trade Max. Leak, I like how they keep glazing Devin White, leading the league in tackles, but yet they're not watching games, him taking plays off. Bro, he be leaving guys wide open. People be asking, how is guys getting wide open? Look at who's covering him. You got 45 in this terrible ass secondary that can't cover a freaking note. They can't cover anything. They can't cover a grandma running down the field. I hear you, 2-4. I hear you. And what's crazy is, though, I got more into the Raiders and more into like just understanding the game and understanding how things are starting to work. Like, I'm still learning. My dad didn't teach me that. My dad loves the Raiders. He loves, but he's not he doesn't really know. He relies on me. I'll put it this way. He relies on me to tell him about college players coming out in the draft. He relies on he relies on me about telling him about like guys like when Ashton Jeanty got drafted. He knew about Ashton Jeanty because of me. He knew about Brock Bowers because of me. I'm still learning how this thing operates when it comes to how the front office operates, how owners operate. Because it's more than just getting the right players, drafting Fernando Mendoza at 1. It's more than just that. Bless me. It's more than just that. But let's look at our past, let's look at our past 4 to 5 years. We won meaningless games at the end of the season when our season was already a wrap by like week 8, week 9. And yes, there's a lot of moving parts. The defense has not been playing well. The offensive line has not been playing well. The defensive line can't get pressure to the quarterback. We need a number 1 receiver. There's a lot of moving parts that we need. But we've done all of that. When Derek Carr was here, we got Davante Adams, number 1 receiver. We drafted Henry Ruggs, who was supposed to be that number 1 receiver again. Fortunate circumstances happened. They tried building around a quarterback that was already here. They tried building around bridge quarterbacks that they brought in Geno Smith and Jimmy G and Gardner Minshew. It didn't work. I would rather build around Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, or Ty Simpson, or whatever quarterback that Spytech feels that can come in and change this organization. I'd rather lean on them, because they have a rookie contract, meaning you can build way more. You have more flexibility to build around them. I want to give all the money to the offensive line. I want the Raiders to have the most expensive offensive line in the league. Now, that doesn't mean just go out and overpay a bunch of guys. No. If Linderbaum comes out and this regime wants JPJ to stay as a guard, give the bag to Linderbaum. Give the bag, but that's if you want JPJ to stay as a guard. Now, if they want JPJ to be a center, maybe you don't look at Linderbaum then. Then you just move JPJ back to center. Maybe you can look at Braden Smith from the Colts to be your tackle. Caleb Rogers has been playing well. There's a lot of moving parts that they could do to that offensive line, and it could be a little bit better. It could be a middle of the pack offensive line. That's really all you need. At least for me, you need a middle of the pack offensive line, at least for Jeanty. Because that's another thing. With your rookie quarterback, you got to establish a run, which is another thing the Raiders have not done a lot this season. Yes, the running game has been terrible, you guys, but there has been times, go back and watch those games where we just we didn't commit to the run. We didn't even try to establish the run. Yes, the argument is that, well, the offensive line can't block, so you got to abandon the run. Well, why abandon it in the first quarter with 10 minutes left in the first? Like, it felt like we abandoned the run before the game even started. Like, we didn't even try to establish the run. And Jeanty has shown flashes of what he can do behind a terrible offensive line, you guys. Imagine what he could do with the middle of the pack offensive line. Now you have a running back that defenses have to respect. That takes the pressure all off the quarterback. Now, the third thing, you guys, I'm going to get into more of these comments, and we'll talk about the third thing. 2-4, my pops is a Raider fan. My mom is a Cowboys fan. As far as talent evaluation goes and scheme, I'm a guy that knows far too little as I should, but I love this team and it's just tired of getting shorted. I agree, man. I agree. Martin, evening all. Number 1 pick incoming. Hey, hope so. Hope so. CGR says Martin B to our brother from across the pond. Yes, yes. But let's get into it, you guys, with this third thing. And again, I'm addressing the nation, you guys. This live show is really for the nation. The third thing is that, and this can kind of tie in what lies in the Raiders' future, because what lies in the Raiders' future, and according to some people, and I don't know where I don't understand where they're getting this. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to lay down and lose on purpose to sabotage the Raiders at potentially getting a quarterback and securing the first overall pick. Sabotage. I need factual evidence to back that up and not an opinion. And so far, that's what it's been. It's been just an opinion. And like conspiracy theorists, like people are saying, oh, the Chiefs would not want the Raiders to get a quarterback. Why not? Like, nation, y'all really think the Chiefs are scared if the Raiders draft Mendoza? Y'all really think the Kansas City Chiefs are scared if the Raiders draft Mendoza or draft Dante Moore or draft Ty Simpson? Y'all really think they're afraid of the Raiders? Let me just pull something up real quick. Since Andy Reid, I'm pull this up, you guys. Since Andy Reid became the Chiefs coach in 2013, the team has dominated, keyword, dominated the Raiders, holding a strong record of roughly 20-4 or 25, depending on the exact date of data. This is coming from this come from AI. In the regular season, winning most matchups, showcasing incredible dominance under his tenure, including many wins with Patrick Mahomes leading the offense. This dominance includes significant winning streaks and few back-to-back losses in the rivalry. The overall Reid era, 2013 to the present, the Chiefs have a commanding record against the Raiders under Reid, with some sources citing around 15-3 in the early part of his tenure and later updates pushing it to 20-4 or better as of the late 2025. Dominance. The Chiefs have enjoyed long winning streaks and rarely lose consecutive games to the Raiders during the period, per Arrowhead Addict. Mahomes era. With Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, the dominance intensifies, with Mahomes holding a 12-2 record against the Raiders by late 2025, averaging high scores, notes Arrowhead at it. Now, what are the Chiefs' record in Allegiant Stadium? Guess what, you guys? They are 6-0. 5-0 against the Raiders. They are undefeated. They are undefeated in Allegiant. Y'all really think, and again, not projecting you, this is to the nation, to those fans that think the Chiefs are just going to lay down and sabotage the Raiders from securing their quarterback and securing the first overall pick. The Chiefs are 20-4 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Since the Raiders have moved to Las Vegas, the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0 in Allegiant Stadium. They have not lost in Allegiant. Travis Kelce is possibly going to retire. This is possibly going to be his last game. And who does he love to face more than ever? Who does he love hearing boo him off the field? Is Raider fans. Why? Because he knows he's playing the Raiders, and usually he's going to have himself a day. So, guys, the Chiefs are not going to lay down. They're not. They're going to go into Sunday. They're going to want to beat the brakes off of us like every other team has had. And also, they're just a better team. Like I said earlier, the Raiders are not tanking because you do not tank at 2-14. You just suck. Your team just sucks. And that's what's going to happen this Sunday. The Raiders will find a way to lose against the Chiefs and against a third-string quarterback. Shit, we made the Giants look like they should be in the playoffs. That Giants game, you guys, I thought was going to be very, very close. I thought it was going to be an ugly game. Thought it was going to be like 14-10, 17-10 in favor of the Giants. They blew us out. They blew us out. Think about that, you guys. The team that was holding the first overall pick blew us out. And yet, we think the Chiefs are going to lay down. We think the Chiefs are going to lay down like we didn't just witness our team getting belt to ass by the worst team in the league. League guy, I'm not even worried about the Chiefs game. Pickett's going to play like he did with the Eagles game, getting backs blown out. Pause. Big pause. Martin, the Chiefs can only push us down to 2. That's correct. If the quarterback from Oregon does declare, we can get him if Mendoza's gone. Yes, but the thing is, Martin, there is a high chance that he does not declare. Now, would it be in favor if he does declare? Yes, because he is seen as a top 3 pick. And if he doesn't declare, he risks, not being a top 3 pick next year. The thing is, Martin, it's not a guarantee that he declares or not. And it's like 50. It's up in the air with Dante Moore. It is up in the air at this point with Dante Moore. If he's going to declare or not. The thing is, Mendoza is going to declare. And out of the entire quarterbacks that have already declared for the NFL draft, Mendoza is the more NFL ready. Now, if Dante declares, Martin, then yes, I might be chilling a little bit. If we do beat the Chiefs and the Raiders go back to 2, I might be calm down a little bit. But the problem with that is, Martin, is that Dante has not declared. And as of right now, the rumors are looking like he's going to go back to Oregon. I thought he was going to come out because of his OC leaving, but now the rumors are starting to heat up that he might be going back to Oregon, that he might be going back to school. Salute to Jeff in the building. My guy. CGR, we've had a revolving door of coaches since 2013. Yeah, we've had. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have had Andy Reid. Mark Primos, I like what you've done with that hole in your wall. Well, I don't know which hole you're talking about. Yeah, I got Geno Smith over here. I got the Raiders season right here. You know, I got our coaching staff, our organization, all right here. So, yeah, that is that. We have changed coaches like changing underwear. That is facts. That is 100% facts. Shout out to Terrence Rogers. That's all while having Mahomes, brother. They have a third string right now. We got our ass blown out by Alex Smith. We got our ass blown out by Alex Smith. It only got worse because Mahomes became quarterback. I hear you. But we also got our asses handed to us when Alex Smith was their quarterback. And the thing is, Andy Reid is still coaching that team. Pete Carroll is still coaching the Raiders. The Chiefs are the better team. And it's not the offense, Terrence, that scares me. It's the defense. I mean, not even scared, but it's the defense. Like, the Chiefs will win because of how bad our offense is. Our defense couldn't cover for shit against the Giants. You're telling me Travis Kelce's not going to have a field day against this defense that can't cover? Devin, you really think Devin White's going to shut down Travis Kelce? You think this defense can cover Travis Kelce? Do you think this front four without a Max Crosby can get to that third string quarterback? This team is ass, Terrence. And even with the third string quarterback with the Chiefs, we're still ass. Leaky, we're in that abusive relationship when it comes to the Chiefs. Bro, this is facts. Hey, Leaky, people don't like me saying it. The Raiders are the Chiefs' bitch. I said what I said. The Raiders are the Chiefs' bitch. Even in a down season, you guys, let's not forget the Chiefs blew us out 34-0. Like, let's go back to that game. Let's go back to that game. Since, we probably forgot about it, right? We probably forgot about that game. So, this is what we think this team we think Kenny Pickett can shot. I know, and I get it. They have Mahomes. I get it. But this shit that scares the hell out of me. This offense is the reason why it's going to be BTA from the Chiefs once again. Martin, exactly. We simply don't score enough points to trouble a team like KC. Even if they are depleted, we've not scored enough points, period, for several years. For real. Bro, I'm not nervous about this game. Do I think it might be close? Maybe, but I think it's going to be another BTA because of how terrible this offense is, you guys. This offense is terrible. And now you got Kenny two gloves. He's not going to do anything. People were scared that he's going to go into Philly and actually beat the Eagles. Oh, man. I love the nation, bro. I love the nation, and I'm not crapping on anybody. You guys have your opinions. I'm just disagreeing with them. I just disagree with it. League, salute to Geno Smith and Pete Carroll in the background. Good to see them. Come on. Yep. Martin, Kelsey's gonna go wild on us for his last ever game. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Oh, I don't care either. I'm just saying I'm just saying. Travis Kelsey's gonna cook this defense. Shots at Anthony, 31-0 is nasty work. And again, I get it. It was because they have Mahomes. That's why he had like 3 touchdowns in that game. I get it. But look on our offense. Our offense got shut down by their defense. And as far as I know, I think Chris Jones is still playing. I don't know if they shut him down for the year or not, but I haven't heard anything if Chris Jones was out. I know they've been Terrence, I know they've been shutting some guys down, but did they shut down Chris Jones? I don't know if they shut down. He played in their last game. If the Jets come up with a haul to the Raiders, both first round and next year's first, you take that as much of a haul you're going to get, because you're going to get a lot of picks, and you can fleece the Jets. If they are desperate for Mendoza, you can fleece them. The problem is, Terrence, will the Raiders be in the top 3 again? Now, it worked for the Bears because the Panthers had a terrible season where the Bears were able to secure the first overall pick without being bad. Who's to say? We're all assuming the Jets will trade up, get Mendoza, and still be terrible. No one is considering that Mendoza could actually change that franchise. He has Garrett Wilson as his number 1. He has a running back in Breece Hall. Is he still there? I don't know, because I know that the Jets went on like a whole trading like early in the season. I don't know if he was part of those trades. Let me see. Those are running backs going in. Where's the Jets? Oh yeah, they just got their ass blown out by the Patriots. Let me see who. Yeah, this got Breece Hall. The thing is, if Mendoza gets drafted to the Jets and they actually have a decent season, you're not picking in the top 10. Now, if you want to package up those picks and trade up for your quarterback in 2027, then yeah, you can possibly do that. But then there's the narrative, because people are saying, oh, next year's draft is going to be better. We've always heard that every year. Every year. Next year's draft is going to be better. We're in a point in time, Terrence. The Raiders did this to themselves. They cannot afford to leave this draft without a first-round quarterback. I'm not taking it. I'm drafting my quarterback, not playing any games. We are going to be building for the future. The reason why the Giants could do that, Terrence, the Giants could take that. You know why? Because they got Jackson Dart. They got their young quarterback. They got Cam Scatterboo. They got Malik Neighbors. They got Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, or however you say his name. They got young pieces that they can build off of, that they can accept a trade like that. The Raiders can't. They got no quarterback. They got some young pieces, but they got no quarterback. The most important position on the football field, the Raiders don't have. 2-4 says, damn, I'm not a mod in here yet to unceremoniously block Anthony one day. Hey, 2-4, one day. Right now, it's up to Leak Eye right now. Leak Eye got the wrench and CGR. Leak Eye says, in history, we made any backups look elite. If you think Alex Smith was worse, we let Nick Mullins score 30 piece, and we only scored 3. Talk, Leak Eye. Oh, yeah. Oh, Brees is a free agent next year? Okay. Hey, who's to say hey, bro. Don't the Jets got multiple first 2026? They could possibly trade up. But they would have to package that. There's no way they could get Jeremiah Love and Mendoza in the same draft. There's no way they'll do that. And I know they'll drop. I said this earlier, Terrence. It would be nice if Dante Moore can declare, or say he would declare, because if he declares, then I'm probably a little bit more lenient when it comes to this Chiefs game, and not so worried about losing the number 1 spot, because Dante Moore and Mendoza, this my 2 quarterbacks that I'm liking. I like Ty Simpson, but I think he needs a little bit more. He's going to need a lot of development, a lot more development, and he's going to be needing to go into the right situation. I mean, same with all these quarterbacks, but I think with Ty, what he will benefit is probably going to a team like the Rams. Kind of like and it's crazy because they got Stetson Bennett there, but boy's already turning 30 over there. But I would wish, Terrence, if Dante could declare, that way could breathe a little bit, going into Sunday. Shout out to Can't Control Life. There's always next year. Love the saying, right? It's always next year. It's always next year. CGR, we have some good weapons, just missing a few O linemen, and most importantly, a quarterback. And I agree, Terrence. I agree, but you can't get, and I totally agree with you, because I've said it numerous times that the Raiders have way more things than a quarterback. Like, they got way more issues than a quarterback. The problem is, Terrence, you got to start it by addressing that quarterback position, because you're not going to fill the entire team in one offseason. You're not going to get a revamped offensive line. You're not going to get a revamped defensive line, a brand new linebacker room, a brand new corner secondary room, because you're not coming back with the safeties. You're not coming back with, maybe Stokes comes back. I don't know. We need, like you said, we need a lot. You can only do so much. You can only do so much in that draft. Now, if you trade back and gain more draft capital and you go get the best defensive player on the board, you give Max a lot more help, and maybe you could build for being a quarterback away. Maybe. Like I said earlier in the show, also, Terrence, if the Raiders believe that is the route that they don't believe, like, let's say they're not sold on Mendoza or they're not sold on Moore, and they like the quarterbacks coming out next year, and they're like, you know what, we're going to trade back, gain some more picks, build this team up for the next year's quarterback that's coming in. Will I agree with it? No, but hey, I'm going to support it because I'm a Raider fan, and I want to see this team succeed. And if that is what Spike Tech believes, that is the way that is what's going to turn this ship around. Okay, then trade back. But if you're Spytech and you believe that Mendoza has some upside and his floor is high, his ceiling is high, and you can help develop him. You got a coaching staff in the building that's not Pete Carroll's regime, but a brand new regime that can develop Mendoza. I'm not taking any chances. I'm drafting Mendoza. If I like Mendoza and he's my guy and I want to draft him and I think he can help turn this thing around, I'm not waiting next year. I'm drafting him. Yes, Terrence, bro, I'm gonna be glued to that game. I'm gonna be glued to that game. Oh, and I agree, can't control life. Let's say if I do draft Mendoza or Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, whoever Spytech and company think is the quarterback that they like, I totally agree with you. I'm not gonna draft, and I know a lot of people may disagree with that because it's like, why have a first round or first overall pick if you're not gonna start your guy immediately? Who said I have to? And also, Brady even spoke about it. You got Tom Brady in the building. Supposedly, you got Tom Brady in the building. Because right now it looks like he cares more about commentating. That's a lie for another day. But I agree with you. If I draft Mendoza, he's not starting in 2026 unless your bridge quarterback gets injured or the season is a loss. Like you're 2-8 again, and you're like, you know what? Let's give the young kid some reps going into next season. If you're not fighting for anything, no reason to rush him in. Or if you're fighting for something, no reason to rush the kid in. But if you're 2-8, 2-9, hey, let's see what Mendoza got. Let's see what Dante Moore got. Let's see what Simpson got. Or let's see what Lar got. Like whoever the quarterback they believe is the future in this upcoming draft, if they decide to go quarterback in this draft, I agree. I'm not throwing them in the fire. I want to build their confidence up. Two four, you will get it, bro. You will get it. Okay. You will get it, man. Oh, hey, yeah. Then it's all in coaching. We talked about the Michael Floors, the Clint Kubiaks, talked about Chris Shula, even though Chris Shula is a defensive minded head coach. If he does get hired, it will be very, very important to monitor who he's bringing in as his offensive play caller. That is going to be the most important decision that this Raider organization is going to make going into after Black Monday, or even at Black Monday. Is Pete Carroll staying or not? We don't know. As of right now, Pete Carroll is the head coach. I don't trust this coaching staff to develop any quarterback that is coming out next year. And if they do let go of Pete, I am praying and hoping that they bring in a phenomenal coaching staff and a head coach that sees eye to eye with Spytech. Hey, that's your core three right there. Can't control life. Giants are doing it. They got Dart, they got Scatterboo, they got Neighbors on the offensive side of the football. We got Mendoza, Genty, and Bowers. And think about this, Can't Control Life. You got all three of them on rookie contracts. It gives you time. It gives you flexibility to really build a dominant team around these young guys before their contracts are up. And you know what's even better, Can't Control Life? They're all first round picks. So you could even pick up their 5th-year option while continuing to negotiate a long-term contract. Y'all are funny, bro. That's a good question, Terrence. I was thinking Pickett. You could possibly bring Pickett back on a cheap deal. He's a free agent this year. You have Aiden O'Connell still under contract, going in his last year of his rookie contract. It wouldn't hurt, right? Because at that point, you have your franchise guy as your quarterback too. The thing is, 2026, Terrence, if we have our franchise quarterback on the roster already, I would not trip if it's a lost season. Now, I will say this, Terrence, I want to see improvement. That's not gonna leave. I want to see improvement. I don't want another 2-15 season. I don't give a fuck that Mendoza or Moore, whoever a quarterback isn't out there. I want to see improvement. Like, who would I pick? I would like Chris Shula because you can have him work the defense. You can have him work the defense and let him go pick up this coaching staff or his coaching staff. But I wouldn't turn away from like a Mike LaFleur or a Clint Kubiak because of them being an offensive minded head coach. And let's be honest, Can't Control Live, we need help on both sides of the football, offense and defense. I got you, bro. I got you. You know, it's all love, 2-4. It's all love. One name missing, trade for picks if Raiders building in 2 years or more. Wait, one name missing, trade for picks if Raiders build. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Can't Control Live. That's the biggest thing. And it has to be their own. You know, not don't do the Seattle Seahawks way or the Patriot way. Like, enough of that. We got to build our own identity. DeMokes. I just want a competent O-line coach. Hey, you ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. 2-4. The season went sideways from week 2, and all I can do is laugh at shit because being mad is poisonous. And that's right, 2-4. I'm not even mad at this point. Just laughing through the pain, waiting for the season to wrap up, and let's get on to the offseason, and let's do this show again, right? Let's start talking about head coaching candidates, talk about offensive coordinator candidate. Like, we got to do it all over again. Oh, Raider Scorpio, you are exactly right. And that is why holding the first overall pick has so much weight. It's not just about potential draft capital that you can get. It's also a way to woo guys like a Ben Johnson, even though he's with Chicago. But that's why he went to Chicago. He had Caleb Williams, a young quarterback. Liam Cohen went to the Jaguars, young quarterback. Now you have the first overall pick that is very, very appetizing to any first-time head coach because they can go locate their quarterback if they like a quarterback in this draft. If they like Mendoza, you got him in your lap. You like Dante Moore, if he declares, you got him in the lap. If you like Ty Simpson, he's there for the taking. There's no excuses anymore, Raider Scorpio. There's none. Oh, we couldn't get CJ Stroud because Josh McDaniels wanted Bryce Young and he said no about the trade. Like, or we couldn't trade up for Jaden Daniels because no one wanted to play ball. There's no more excuses. We hold the first overall pick. You like a quarterback coming out of this draft? Go get that quarterback. Go get the quarterback. And I guarantee, Raider Scorpio, they definitely would want to hear the plan for the quarterback position. Oh, bro, Can't Control Live. I'm 27 years old, and I've been watching the Raiders, like really watching the Raiders since like 2011. And 2016 is really all I got. I've been, I watched the, highlights of the past of, the 70 Raiders, the early 80s, and how dominant those defenses were. And it's like, man, like, how did we go from that to this? Like, it's crazy. Oh, CGR, you already know, bro. I'm going to be full of my opium. You already know, man. I'm going to be drinking the Kool-Aid like all day, every day, man. Not only we're 2-15, but to get swept in our division back to back is mind boggling. Well, hey, Sunday hasn't happened yet. Until it happens, but it is mind boggling that we are on the cups of that, right? Like we are about to get beat 0 guys, think of 0-12. 0-12 in the past 2 years in our division. It's crazy. Yep, 2-4. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at, 2-4. Take the guy at quarterback that the head coach, offense coordinator, and GM are comfortable with. And 2-4, you know why I do that? I usually, even though it wasn't great times, I reminisce the times that I went to Raider games in the past in Oakland. I love Vegas. Actually, I don't love Vegas. I love it because it's a party town. You can live it up. But for the Raiders, I don't love it because I've witnessed Oakland. I've witnessed um how Oakland just loved the Raiders. Hell, I witnessed Los Angeles. Nothing compared, like Vegas will never be Los Angeles. Vegas will never be Oakland, no matter how hard they try. And winning is the only way that they can even get close to that. But anyways, you guys, I got to get out of here. Got to go get my beautiful lady at work before I start sleeping on the couch, and I do not want to sleep on the couch. Give a quick rundown, you guys. We just went over the Giants and the Raiders recap. Really nothing much to talk about in there. We talked about what lies in the Raiders' future. What are some moves that they can make? Are they going to fire Pete Carroll or are they not? Pete Carroll is still here, you guys. There's 2 off seasons that we can have. One off season is with Pete Carroll. One off season is with the brand new regime in here. And I believe both have different outcomes on how the offseason will be played out. And basically, I just chatted it up with you guys. I want to shout out to everyone that pulled up in the chat, you guys. We had 18 people in the chat room watching on YouTube. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys can, on the way out, hit that like button, push the video out into the algorithm. Also, if you are not subscribed to Raiders Primos, you guys, cost you nothing. Will appreciate all the support that you have given me. And also, hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything from Raiders Primos. Like I said, you guys, the holiday work schedule kind of interfered with my scheduling when it came to these live streams. But that holiday work schedule starting to end. So we will get back to our routine of Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. And hey, I'll try to maybe reach out to Jay Raider, see if I can go over there and be a guest on his show and talk some more Raiders with the guys over there, because we all need Raider therapy at this point, y'all. We need, like I said, Raider PTSD is real. Now Raider therapy is real. Okay, we need therapy for this. But anyways, love y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy your guys' Monday. And with that, we is out of here. Peace.